Good morning, George. Good morning, everybody else.
Everyone watching.
Good morning, Livio Reguera.
Oregano. Thank you for tuning in to another week of wonderful.
Weeso's wacky, waveable, inflatable man. Wonderful things. It's the morning time.
Currently the morning.
It's 7:45 in the morning. Just got all the cars pushed out. Workshop set up, ready to go.
For another day of.
We're gonna go do a bit.
Look busy.
Yeah, that's so funny, George.
Morning, everyone. We're doing an introduction.
Introduction.
No introduction. Introduction.
What's up? It's Doin. It's just Thursday morning.
The Supercell Brewing.
There's a supercumulonimbus on the Brewskins.
Out there in the west hand side of us.
It's Livio Reguera.
Oregano.
Boy, she's gotten pretty white out there, eh?
What?
Or is that just the sky?
No,
and it's grey above it.
No, that's a shed, bro.
Oh,
Good morning.
All right, go. We can have a quick talk.
We're gonna have a look at it.
We're gonna have a quick toolbox about the 34.
And everyone watching, come for a walk.
We've got 34. It is a R34 turbo manual shell. It is just a rolling shell. It was dropped off yesterday, so it's pretty exciting news. I don't know
up and coming build of this thing.
Yeah. So the whole way that this has come about is basically when we took G up down to Victoria, down to Winton. Talking to the boys from Zoo Performance, like the owner of Zoo and Zek Nova Australia. So while we were down there, and obviously like they love what we were doing, we love what they're doing. So pretty much hit us up when we got back to build them something silly. So
hit us up,
yeah, like hit us up and said, you know, well, like what are we gonna do? When are we gonna build a car together? So the idea behind the 34 is it was just a local shell from Brisbane, so it's like an hour and a half or so away from us. 1500 horsepower. Automatic drag car, street car, not a drag car, street car.
Yeah.
Street drag, you know. So
does it have to be automatic?
Yeah, well, it's got to be fast, brother. Brother.
It's automatic.
So this is the
34.
34. You'll see it kicking around in the back of the shop for a while. But just know that it's going to be.
It's pretty much coming for a collaboration station.
Pretty much. So we're pretty much doing a collab with Zoo Performance. So we'll be utilising a lot of the parts that they produce, as well as sort of keeping our own spin on things with the products that we trust and we won't go past, basically, like things we're not willing to compromise on just because of pure experience.
So pretty much just going to put an SR20.
Plasma Man, Garrett, you know, and then an SR20. So this is going to be an RB. This will be an RB in this car. I believe it's like a 99.99% chance it'll be a billet RB.
Yeah. Automatic.
And it's going to be sick. So anyway, there'll probably be an entire video on this
later on.
But that's just a little.
Make sure you tune in there.
When you see it in the background, that's what it's doing.
So this fuel tank, this box over here is what we're talking about. This is going in the Caddy. The old Fleetwood. Imagine Garfunkel and Franklin cruising around in the Fleetwood. Anyway, the Caddy sack. Welded it up yesterday, all baffled and whatnot. I haven't done a whatnot for a while. It's not bad, eh? It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Tastes pretty good. And yeah, now I'm gonna drag over my little Sammy boy over here and we're gonna mount it. Yeah. You coming, Cobb? And yeah, we're gonna put it in.
fried chicken nugget. Oh, my back. What do you want to know? What is that? What is that? It's sticky. Update on Stuba's car. We've got all of the dry sump suction lines, or scavenge lines, sorry, is a better word, done. So we've got the new fitting on the back of the head drain that we needed for clearance issues. That's on, so the head drain is hooked up. We got head drain, and then we got the 2 sumps, and then we have the inline from the reservoir in the back and the return line. So I'm just about to hook up the oil cooler, which is at the back of the car. So I'm just about to run the lines for that, and then we're going to mount the pretty fully sick clear view filter. We're going to mount that in the engine bay. So this car's got a Willwood pedal box in it, so it doesn't have a brake booster. So we're going to mount that in place of where the brake booster was. So it's a bit of a showpiece. Like it's absolutely not necessary. So we're going to make sure that's sort of in view, as well as still a serviceable item. So we're going to mount that, and we'll come off of the Barnes dry sump. We're going to go to the back to the cooler, through the filter, and then into the engine. So the very last thing before the oil goes into the engine is the filter. All the plumbing lines on it. So we've got the OPR mounted, so that's an oil pressure regulator from TurboSmart. So Garrett recommends oil pressure restrictor or a regulator, oil pressure regulator for their turbos. So this is an OPR 40. So this basically regulates the oil pressure going through the turbo so that it doesn't over pressurize the turbo, and then it just bypasses the rest back to the sump. We've got the power gate here. I've started doing the lines on these. So these are a pretty new thing from TurboSmart. So they are actually electronic and they require water cooling. So I've been running the lines for that as well. And then basically I'm just running lines for everything. It's all I've been doing. Just straight up running lines. Look at Daniel. I got the trans cooler lines are run. These little 2 little -6 lines, so they run to the back. I don't think they've seen this actually, George. This is quite cool. This line's still going to go up through the floor yet, but if you can look past that. So what we've got here, this is the fuel cell, the fuel tank. Mounted to the bottom of that, you can see the fans. So obviously we've got twin oil coolers here. One is transmission, one is engine, and then under those we've got fans. So very nice. I think it's really nice way to mount the coolers and the fans, and it looks sick as well, and it's going to look really cool from the back of the car, especially with the parachute and everything. So I don't know, George. Don't know nothing. Don't know nothing about nothing. Very good, very nice. George, I'm turned on. It's not me that's not turned on. Let me tell you, it's not me that isn't turned on.
I am not turned on. Do a push-up.
A push-up.
Oh. Thanks, It does.
That deserves a slap. All right, so the tank is done. The tank is mounted. The tank is in, plumbed up, finalised. We're literally minutes away from putting fuel in it, and
we're gonna run it.
And yeah, so
tank's done. Customer's happy as Larry. His name's not Larry though.
Daniel's finished off all the mounts. So we've got the 2 mounts on the front, one mount on the side, and two mounts at the back. This side's just open because the exhaust is there. Plus, it doesn't need it. It's very stable. It's very stable station.
We're still running factory filler neck on the top here that pops through this little window. How you doing? Shuts up shop.
So it all fills through the factory location, which is very nice. Very nice. Don't have to fill it through the boot or anything stupid.
Anything silly billies like that.
Silly like that. We've also got the factory fuel sender in there still, and that has been wired up to the Haltech IC7 dash. So it'll read fuel level fairly accurately as it can. Other than that, we've got the return lines on the front, breather lines on the front, and then on the side here.
Over here on the side, we've got some.
Come and have a look.
Come on, everyone have a look, have a squeeze.
That is the fuel feed line to the fuel pumps. So you want to have it at the back of the tank, so that just because under acceleration, it's always going to have fuel there. So that's the reason it's at the back. Put it up on the side, so it looks nice, basically.
Yeah, we don't want any under here because this car is bagged, it's airbagged, so the potential of hitting anything was there, so we put it on the side, and it looks very uniform. It
is, yeah. So pretty very, very
pretty.
happy
It's
with
very
how it's
pretty.
turned out.
Just squared her up, brother, and
Squared
it's
him up,
hooked
punched him
in.
fair in the face, and it's turned out pretty nice, hasn't it?
Yeah, bit of thought went into it.
Chalk it up. Another one in the books.
Another one bites the dust. The difference
no
between
reason
what we do,
Yeah, what we do and what.
what you buy,
Yeah.
what you can buy, because a lot of
you
people
can buy a cheap fuel cell, and it's just going to be a square. It's going to go in here. It's going to look out of place. It's not going to follow any lines nicely. It's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be able to fill through the factory location.
It'd be a universal fit.
Yeah, a universal fit. The difference with a custom tank is, obviously, when you stand back here and you look at it, just gives you a little tickle, doesn't it?
It actually gets
tingle.
It,
What does it do, Daniel? Tell me.
looking at that,
Show me
bro,
what it does to you, Daniel.
looking at that, it gets my...
He's not wrong. I like, look at that. That's just...
Yeah, it's hot.
It's so... It's
Stop,
just,
bro.
Anyway, that's it. Super happy. Really happy with it. Daniel's really happy with it. I'm really proud of Daniel.
Thank you, bro.
Killed it.
We did. My man. But an overall tank,
It is a tank.
it's beautiful.
The tear to my eye. I've got alley dust in my eyeballs.
The tank is so good looking.
Anyway.
Oh yeah. Anyway, got new hats here, new era. So we're going to do a little giveaway soon, I think. Yep. So make sure you all go like.
Gonna put together a merch pack. I think we're gonna do a hat, face
mask,
mask,
shirt, jumper. Yeah. So the whole combination station.
Not entirely. Yeah, the whole combination station.
The whole
not entirely sure what
combination
the criteria to win the merch pack will be yet.
I think it should be our 1,000th subscriber.
It'll be something. We'll figure it out, and then we'll tell you what it is. But keep an eye out for that.
Keep an eye out. Make sure you check that out.
Check that.
Yeah.
Down. Smoke show 10.
Made it in time.
That's it.
We met the
deadline, you know,
Met
it was
the
a bit touch
deadline.
and go. Halfway through there, we were getting a bit worried. We're like, oh, these parts that we need, they're just getting overnighted from Japan.
We're not sure if they're going to make it, so...
Overnight Cadillac parts from Japan, but they turned up, so it's all good.
Overnight caddy parts.
From Japan.
From Japan.
That's it. Do we have to sign off, George? Or do you have a sign off?